Hello everyone, this is Petko Alexandrov and welcome to our YouTube channel where we share trading ideas, our experience, a lot of free strategies as well for trading. And today I will give you 5 tips about intraday trading. If you are a beginner trader, this is a must to watch video because I will share a lot of my experience. I will give you some tips and I hope that you will find that useful for yourself before you start actual trading. So let's go from what is actually intraday trading, and as you may guess from the name, it is trading within the day, or in other words, this is when we trade along the day and we close all of our trades by the end of the stock session or by the end of the trading day. And actually intraday trading is more popular for stock market and for the ETFs, where we have trading from 1 hour to another hour. Okay, it depends where you are. If you are in Europe, you can catch the London Stock Exchange. So basically you will be opening trades when the London Stock Exchange opens and close the trades usually a few hours later. And then in the afternoon you can catch the New York Stock Exchange, and as well we have the Asian Stock Exchange, which is in midnight for us in Europe, but of course it's during the day for everyone out there in Asia. Okay, so the stock exchange really matters no matter what you are trading. If you are trading forex, because intraday trading as well is very popular with the forex trading, and this is how I have done it the most, because during the stock exchanges there is a huge volatility with the currency pairs as well. For example, in Europe, when we trade the London Stock Exchange, there is a huge volatility on the pound together with all the rest. So for example, we trade pound dollar, pound Canadian, euro pound. Obviously euro and the pound are with the same time zone, with the same stock exchange hours, right? And then in the afternoon, when the New York Stock Exchange opens, usually we see more volatile dollar, which sometimes is of course positive, sometimes is negative. So it depends where you are, how you want to do it. I would suggest you to try no more than 2 stock exchanges. Okay, so if you are in the US, most comfortably will be the New York Stock Exchange, and then you can catch the Tokyo Stock Exchange, for example. If you are in Europe, then you will be trading the London Stock Exchange in the morning, and then in the afternoon you can trade the New York Stock Exchange. But don't go for the third one, because this is quite exhausting. I have tried it. It was a mistake because it takes you almost 16 to 18 hours to go through the 3 of them. And this is my first tip, that you should not trade the 3 stock exchanges. Just pick 2 of them according to your time zone. Anyway, it's too much, you're getting exhausted, and in the long term you will have losses because simply you didn't sleep enough, right? So take it easy with the time. I would always suggest you trade no more than 8 to 10 hours a day if you are a full-time trader, intraday trader. This is what everyone does after some time, and usually at the beginning it's a lot of passion and everyone wants to trade more and more, but at the time you will see that it's wrong. It's not about how long time you will stay in front of the computer, it's about how you will be trading. Okay, what you will need for a good intraday trading, no matter you're doing stocks, you're doing forex, ETFs, cryptocurrencies obviously are not so much of an intraday trading, because the cryptocurrency market is opened all the time. There are no hours, and it goes through the weekend as well. So you can do kind of scalping trading with cryptos, but it's not related really to the stock exchanges or to the volatility we get from these markets. Okay, so what you will need to have a comfortable intraday trading is a good setup at home. I've been through many setups. In some of my videos you will notice that I had before 6, 7, 8, I think I reached maximum to 10 monitors, and then with the time I started to reduce them. This is because I switched to algorithmic trading, so I don't do manual trading anymore. But if you are intraday trader who will be scalping manually and you will be executing the trades manually, you will need definitely a good setup. Now, I don't say you go straight away with 6, 10 monitors or anything like that. You should go with whatever you need. So, for example, start with 2 monitors and do whatever you want until you need to have an extra monitor, then just add one, and then add one or buy a bigger one. But don't invest too much from the beginning, especially if you're a beginner, because it will be it might turn to be a waste of money if you cannot handle a huge volume of trading, or if you fail to have enough profits from the beginning. Then you will be the monitors, you will not need them, right? So a comfortable setup for me is anything that will make you comfortable during the trading. You will be able to see whatever you are watching. Is it a few currency pairs? For example, on one monitor I always keep the majors, the ones that are, these are the euro dollar, the pound dollar, the dollar Swiss is not anymore considered as a major. It was before, but recently it's not, after it was released from the euro, right? And then we have the Aussie, the New Zealand, the dollar yen, the dollar Canadian, and these are the pairs that everyone is watching all the time. Now, what I would suggest you to take is a currency strength meter. This is usually an indicator. For example, I've been using Forex Profit Supreme meter, which is really great strength indicator. And instead of having a monitor with all the currencies where it takes some experience, it needs experience to follow all the currencies to recognize which is the strongest at the moment. But if you have an indicator like Forex Profit Supreme meter or any currency strength meter, they all work well. They will show you which is the most, which is the strongest currency at the moment. Okay, usually you will see them just in a list, and then you will see, for example, the pound on the top with 97 something, depends how the indicator is developed. And at any moment you will know which is the strongest currency pair to trade, and of course on the bottom you will see which is the weakest, right? And usually the combination of the two is the best choice to trade during the stock exchange. So for example, if you have a very strong pound and a very strong very weak yen at this moment, the best thing to trade is pound yen, and obviously you would want to buy the pound yen, scalp it, sell it, and that's it. I have done intraday trading only using the profit, the Forex Profit Supreme meter indicator. It's a strength indicator, and it works really nice if you combine it with a strategy. I have such a strategy in my London, New York, and Tokyo trading course, which I'm planning actually to re-record this year. By the end of the year, hopefully I will catch it. I will succeed to catch more examples, so I will upload to the course new fresh examples from intraday trading. And the next tip I would like to give you is about your mindset before you start trading and while you start trading. If you have a losing day, don't be disappointed, okay? It's an intraday trading. It means that every day you will open trades and you will close trades, right? And at the end of the day, it is very likely that you will be losing. You cannot be profiting any every day. Okay, it's really hard. Honestly said, I have over 10 years of experience in trading, and to be profitable every day is very, very hard. So if you have a losing day, just go over it. Start with fresh mind on the next day. Forget about the old day. Don't be disappointed. Don't try to cover the losses from the previous day. If you try always to cover the losses, it's more likely that you will be losing again, or even you will lose a bigger amount. For example, if you have a daily target of 50 pips and today you lose 70, tomorrow your target is 50 pips again. It's not 70. Forget that you have lost 70 the other day. You have your daily target, and no matter what happens during that day, just go for your daily target. Okay, this is very important. And remember that in the month we have 20 to 22 trading days, which means that if you have less than 10 losing days and more profitable days, you will be on a profit at the end of the month, and this is what matters. Okay, and here comes the same logic. If you are doing if you have a losing month, that's okay, it happens. Okay, go for the next month and the next month and the next month, and obviously if you have 3, 4, 5 losing months, then something is wrong with your strategy. There is something you have missed, and you should just restart it or go for more education before you start the next month. But if you have a few losing days, that's okay. If you have traded with expert advisors, or these are the robots, and you have done back tests, you will know that with every strategy there are drawdown periods, there are losing days, weeks and months. This is why the best thing I recommend is using more than one strategy. So if one strategy brings you losses, the other will compensate, and you will have more stable results. Okay, so the last thing I would like to say in this video is about the trading capital, which is very important obviously, and it's related pretty much with the money management. So if you are starting, you need to know that you need a capital. And of course, at the beginning, it's very recommendable to go for a demo account just to practice, right? But after you decide to go for real trading, you need to have a capital. Many people ask me, is it okay to start with $100 or $200? And I never suggest starting amount. It's up to you. It depends how much you can afford to lose. This is how they usually call it. The money you put in your trading account, you should be comfortable losing them, because anything can happen on the market. You can fall under the emotions. You can blow your account easily, especially if you're a beginner. If you're not following a precise strategy and a good money management, you can blow your account, or in other words, you can lose it all. Keep that in mind. And back to the question, is it okay to start with $100 or $200? Of course, it's okay. But what will be the end result out of there? If you do 10% in the month, which is a very normal and a good result for intraday trading, you will have obviously $10 to $20. And from there comes the question, is it worthy to trade all day, all month for $10 to $20? If you are just practicing with a small amount, that's absolutely fine. I'd rather prefer to practice with a small live account. For example, if I get a new strategy, I'd prefer to practice on a small live account instead on a demo. But this is because I already have experience. If you're a beginner, go first with a demo. So if you are starting with $100 or $200, you cannot really expect to leave your daily job and to have enough income for the month to cover all of your expenses, right? For example, if you have a daily job where you earn, I don't know, $1,000, depends where you live. For example, in Bulgaria, the standard is very low. The average salary is somewhere at $500 at the moment. And I know there is worse in Africa and some of the Asian countries, right? And at the same time, in UK, Germany, United States, Australia, the people receive a lot more, and they wouldn't be happy to leave their daily job if they don't get at least $4,000 to $5,000. So to have a four-figure or even more as an income from trading, you need capital. I would say that a normal starting capital to have $5,000 as a profit at the end of the month would be $50,000, okay, which is 10%. So you cannot expect to make every month $5,000 if you start with $1,000. That would mean you should be doing 500%, which is kind of realistic, honestly. Okay, so keep these tips in mind. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer, but be careful with the starting amounts. This is the most important at the end of the day. If you're a beginner, start with a demo, see realistically what you can achieve. If you are not happy with the results, then maybe it's too early to leave your daily job, and I would never suggest you leave your daily job before you have more income from the trading compared to what you earn. And this is personally how I did it. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have found that video useful, I would appreciate if you click a like and subscribe to our channel to get more of my free videos and trading tips. Cheers and have a great day. Bye.